So, of course, we know we celebrate it all around the world, but what better place really to celebrate than Ireland itself? We want to take you to the heart of it all.
Yeah, why don't we check in with Travel News senior editor Gabe Saglier in Dublin along the route of one of the largest St. Paddy's Day parades in the world. I knew he was going to wear it.
Look at that.
He's got the green get-up
So
on.
bright.
I love it. I wish I could borrow that.
Well, you can, Eric. I'm going to bring it back to Southern California tomorrow. So I get to go back home tomorrow. So I will bring it over to you. But you're right. You said it. This is actually officially the second largest St. Paddy's Day parade in the world because New York's parade is pretty big. Second in size, number one in spirit, though. The crowd here is just now starting to dissipate because this parade now coming to an end. But boy, the place to be and the energy palpable out here this afternoon.
Yeah,
and
that was
obviously
awesome.
Everyone's wearing green, not just you included, but behind you, a sea of green right there. How big of a crowd are we looking at, Gabe?
So that's what's been very impressive. And I'm going to show you how all this got started because at high noon, it's just after 3 o'clock here now, but at high noon, that's the president of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins. He arrived and officially opened up this parade. And then it was just a sea of musical performances and acrobatic acts. It was pretty impressive. I have been covering, this marks now my 10th year covering this parade here on the ground in Dublin. And I don't think I've seen a crowd this big. Check out how thick that crowd is.
Yeah,
We're talking
it is.
7, 8, 9 people deep. Last year was sort of the official return of this festival after the pandemic. This year, that crowd just really grew even more. So they were estimating 500,000 people lining this 2-mile parade route. I'm going to say it was even more than that because it's just quite an impressive number of people. 4,000 people participating in the parade. And what's really neat is how many Americans are part of this parade. So about a dozen different marching bands from different high schools and universities across the U.S. are part of this. This is Purdue University, about 400 performers strong, and creating quite a spectacle here for the crowds. But a big international mix too. A lot of Europeans, a lot of South Americans, and just a lot of flavor and energy out there.
You would think, Gabe, that the St. Patrick's Day parade would be something that maybe even originated there, but my understanding is this is actually relatively new in Ireland.
Officially, the very first St. Patrick's Day parade took place in Boston in 1737. New York started in 1762, if I'm not mistaken. Dublin in 1931 would have been their first St. Patrick's Day parade. And really something like this, a kind of like a spectacular multi-day festival, is relatively new because a generation ago, it was just a day off from, a bank holiday, as they would call it. And people would just, hang out with family and friends. They'd wear some green, but it was a mellow afternoon. This is now 15 to 20 years ago is when they decided to conduct an experiment. If we throw a party, will the Americans come? And it's an experiment that paid off.
They will.
In force, this is a week when many Americans will find an excuse to come out here and tap into that pervasive Irish hospitality.
Oh, it's a great time to get out there. I will say I've been to Ireland before, went for a friend's wedding in a castle. It's an amazing country, so beautiful. I'm curious for St. Patrick's Day, what other traditions a lot of people take part in? We know Guinness, of course, that must be a requirement almost there. What else are they doing?
That's exactly what I'll be doing, Netta, as soon as we're done with this conversation. Just because I want to feel like I'm one of the folks here. No green beer, so that's just for folks who are always asking, the green beer? No, you don't see green beer. You see a lot of that dark stuff, as they call it. Guinness or a lot of stout producers do quite well on a week like this. This is a 5-day affair, so it started Wednesday. I say today would be the climax. Tomorrow, a big rugby game between Ireland and England, and if Ireland wins, there will be pandemonium. And of course, there are a lot of musical and comedy acts, and the museums are open for free, and all these great exhibits, and the restaurants are packed, and the pubs are packed. So this is going to go into the weekend. It becomes a very social affair. And I think, again, this is a year where people feel that much more comfortable with that, and it's brought them out in force.
Yes, lots to celebrate, lots of reasons to wear green. Thanks for the history there, Gabe. You always look so nice, and always such a great live shot, active there, and more reasons to celebrate down the road there in Ireland.
And a great excuse to make that trip.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Enjoy that Guinness.
That's right, Gabe.
I'll have one for each of you.
Yes, please do. Yes, and maybe bring one back if you can. All right, thanks, Gabe. Appreciate it, buddy.